Welcome back to News Geelong. A Deakin University study funded by Vic Health shows significant economic savings and health benefits that could be achieved if Australian adults cut their alcohol consumption by 3.4 litres a year, or an average of 5 standard drinks less each week. Debbie Meaney reports.
By cutting 5 standard drinks a week out of our diet gives significant health and economic benefits. I spoke with Senior Research Fellow Anne Magnus here at the Deakin University waterfront in Geelong.
Well, what we showed were the benefits of a realistic reduction in consumption of alcohol on a weekly basis. And so our numbers are smaller than a lot of other studies that have been done. And basically the message is that there are enormous gains to be made with simply reducing our intake by 5 standard drinks a week. The benefits come to the health sector, which is largely hospitals, doctors, drugs. Those sort of expenditures will be reduced because people are not having injuries and other results of overconsumption of alcohol. So that's the largest benefit. The second area of large benefits were in productivity. People will be able to work for longer, stay at work longer, have fewer sick leave days. Those sorts of reductions are likely to occur, and they're sizable. The smaller area of benefit that we measured was the impact on household consumption, household production and leisure time. So there are benefits because you're not unwell as a result of the car accident that you've been involved in, to home production as well. You're able to do the normal duties and you're able to play a game of golf. It's those sort of things that can disappear, which we've quantified for the first time.
And these quantifications, you've actually given figures for the amounts of savings towards the health industry and the like. Can you give us some of those figures?
Yes, for the health sector it's over 700 million per annum, and for productivity gains it was nearly 500 million. For household and leisure it was 22 million. These are per annum savings.
And that's just within Australia we're talking here, isn't it?
Yes, the whole of Australia, if the average Australian adult reduced consumption of alcohol by 5 standard drinks a week.
At the Deakin campus on the waterfront, this is Debbie Meaney for News Geelong.
Thank you, Debbie, for that very informative story. If you were in control of Australia's water, how would you use it? The current exhibition of Our Water at the National Wool Museum engages and inspires visitors to expand their understanding and delve into Australia's unique water situation. Debbie Meaney has more.
A hands-on way of learning about how to manage our water is happening here at the Wool Museum with 28 hands-on exhibits open until the 27th of June. I spoke with Councillor Cameron Granger here.
So here at the National Wool Museum we've got a national initiative from the National Water Commission and Questacon in Canberra. This exhibition is now on until the 27th of June, and it just highlights to particularly kids between prep and year 9, but also it's good exercise for adults to know exactly where water goes in an urban area or industrial usage or in agriculture, for instance. So it's a good way of just seeing how much water we use and what are the best ways to preserve it.
And is there any idea of how much water we're currently using and ways that we can minimise that?
Well, it's all about teaching you, well, as I say, particularly kids, but adults can learn too, how you use water around the house, for instance. Like standing in front of this display here, you can change how many times you use the washing machine or a dishwasher, but also just things like how often you water the garden, and then if you use a rainwater tank, you're using a lower amount of water. If you're not, as you can see, it uses a substantial amount more. So it's just those type of things, trying to teach people on a real hands-on basis that how things are operating around the house in particular, but also in other industries and agriculture.
So teaching them to think about water usage and perhaps change their habits, hopefully.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah, I mean we've seen that we've had one of the worst droughts, which particularly impacted on Victoria, and we've all had water restrictions, so we know how that impacted on our daily lives. But we've got to remember that water is not something we can just splash about, if you like. We do need to conserve it, and this is a good way of demonstrating how to.
And it looks like fun too.
It is a bit of fun, yeah. Questacon build all of these exhibitions, and they are quite colourful and very hands-on for kids. They're very entertaining as well as educational.
And it's going around 14 other locations, so we're pretty lucky to have it here in Geelong.
Very lucky indeed, and we've got it here actually for World Environment Day, which is the 5th of June, so we're very fortunate indeed.
Excellent. Well, let's hope to see some people down here ending on the 27th of June.
I'd love to see as many people come through as we can. We've already got about 600 school kids booked in, but as I say, it's not just for kids, adults can learn quite a bit too.
At the War Museum, this is Debbie Meaney for News Geelong.
Thank you, Debbie. The initiative joint venture between the COGG and the Bowen Regional Waste Management Group, Second Hand Saturdays, has a significant spin-off for local not-for-profit organisation GDP Industries, who receive many of the goods, sell any resellable items and break down components of the rest for recycling, as Debbie Meaney reports.
GDP Industries here in North Geelong is a great facility offering not only recycling but employment for some of the disadvantaged people here in Geelong. I spoke with Ty Cummins here on site. GDP is an interesting industry, provides some great opportunities for employment. Can you tell me a bit about GDP and what some of the things you do here?
Yeah, well, it is we do a vast number of jobs, and it does give guys that normally wouldn't be working, they'd be stuck at home, an opportunity to do some work, and all the people we have work here absolutely love it. We have a really fun atmosphere. We try and make it's very social as well as a productive work environment. So we do a number of things, the kindling, we do the TVs, we strip computers, we do clothing donations and things like that. There's just so many different things. We're always expanding, always doing different things, so it keeps everyone happy and everyone working, so that's good. And
the variety of abilities that are here on site?
Yeah, well, it varies quite a huge amount, because we've got some guys that are very limited what they can do, but we can find work for them. Some guys are very capable, and that's a big push that we've got, is we only expect people to do what they're capable of doing, and that's why everyone enjoys it here, because we don't expect people to be able to do more than what they're capable of. We just ask them that if they just keep working. We've got some guys here that don't seem very productive, but what they actually give us in the end is quite a large amount, so it's quite good.
And some of these products you make end up going towards lightweight concrete products, and things go off overseas for recycling that can't be done here?
Yeah, a lot of the plastic goes through GT recycling. That's a plastic recycling in Moolap, and that all gets sent overseas. With our polystyrene, that all gets mulched up and goes into concrete products, lightweight pavers and garden ornaments and that sort of thing. And that's just another thing that keeps all the guys going and keeps everyone here employed, which is great.
How many people do you actually have here employed on site?
It does vary. It's very hard to tell, because we've got some guys that do 1 or 2 days a week. We get a few guys that come in from St Lawrence, so there'll be at least around the 30 mark, sort of on average days. So.
Oh, it's a great facility that you have here, not just for recycling, but obviously for keeping these people happily employed.
That's correct, and it gives them opportunity to feel like they're giving something back, and I think everyone feels that here. It's really good.
In Baxter Street in North Geelong at GDP Industries, this is Debbie Meaney for News Geelong.
Thank you, Debbie. As we go to a break, we'll return with more sport and weather after this.